What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Cold Front Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a venison smash burger with a little special sauce. And this is a really simple recipe, but it makes a killer burger. So this is a little bit different than your typical burger that you would patty out and throw on the grill. We're going to be cooking this in a cast iron skillet. I'm going to show you a couple little tricks that are going to allow us to get a really good crust on the burger and create a really fantastic end product. So let's get into it. So the toppings for this burger are going to be white onion and iceberg lettuce, which we're going to shred. And the onion we're going to slice really thin, and it's actually going to be mashed down into the patty when it goes into the pan. So first thing we're going to do is you get your head of iceberg lettuce. You can kind of see like how the lines run this way. You want to go perpendicular to that. So I'm going to slice it down the middle. Alright, you can see what you got there. And what we want to do is we want to slice this also really thin so we can just get some nice strings of lettuce. So you can see what we got there. That's going to go really nice on the burger and just add a little bit of texture, because let's be honest, iceberg lettuce is just for texture. Alright, so for the onion, what you want to do is get your onion, cut it down the middle, cut the tail end off so you can kind of get the little arches like that. And what you want to do is cut it as thin as possible, as thin as you can get it to where you can see through it. So like this. You're basically just shaving onion so you can get these nice little translucent onions, and when we smash that down into the burger patty and flip it, they're going to cook really quick. Okay, so you just want to get yourself a little pile like that. You're going to see how much I put on the actual patties, but you just want some nice thin strings of onion, and that's going to make a nice little caramelized onion layer on the burger once it's done. Okay, so for the buns, we're going to be using Martin's potato rolls. And I already know what you're thinking. You're like, I want to put it on brioche. I want to put it on a white bun. I want to put it on a pretzel bun. Don't. You really need the potato roll. It's got a little bit of sugar in it. It's kind of got that right texture. It's a little bit chewy. And that's what you need for this burger. If you want to put it on something else, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. But use potato rolls. So for the buns, I've got a couple potato rolls here, and I've got some unsalted butter that I've had sitting out on the counter long enough so that it's spreadable. You can also use kind of like a canola butter mixture, like just a store-bought spreadable butter. That would work well too. Just straight up cold butter is not going to work. You'll go to spread it and it's just going to tear the bun apart. So what you want to do here is I'm going to kind of section this butter up. And you want to butter the inside of these buns. And you don't have to use quite this much butter. You can get away with, maybe 2/3 of this. So these are ready to go. We're going to put these in the skillet, get a little toast on the inside. Alright, well, we've got our pan on medium-low heat. I've given it about 10 minutes to go ahead and heat up. So take your buttered potato roll, butter side down, and I kind of like to spin them around a little bit just to go ahead and coat the pan with the butter. And you don't want to put this on a really high heat because being that the bun does have that sugar in there, it's going to scorch a little quicker. So you want to go about this a little slow. Okay, so these have been in here a few minutes. They're ready to come off. You may not get toast all the way across, but you just want to get some nice crust for a little bit of texture. For the burgers, since I'm doing two, I'm going to do a 4-ounce patty for each burger. So I got half a pound of 80/20 ground venison. This is 80% venison, 20% beef fat. If you want to keep it 100% wild game, you can just do the venison on its own, but it's not going to hold together quite as well, and you're not going to get the same result as you would having that fat in there. So we've got our skillet going on medium-high heat. What we want to do is add just enough canola to this to just kind of coat the bottom of the pan. So we've got our ground venison here that's been sitting out for 20 to 30 minutes to temper. We do the same thing with the ground meat as we do our whole muscle meat. So this step right here is what really separates this burger preparation from a normal burger. What you want to do is just grab a chunk of that meat. So I've got half of it. You don't want to like roll it out or pack it together or anything. To this point we haven't seasoned this at all. So we're going to go straight into the pan. You go salt on top. We've got our onions here. You want to make a little pile of onions on top of the burger. And this is what makes this a smash burger. Take a spatula, flatten this out into the pan. And this is going to cook really quick. It's a pretty high heat. And after smashing the patties down, they're pretty thin. So once you get a good crust on the first side, you want to flip it. Alright, so these are ready to flip. Look at that crust. Alright, so on the flip, you want to salt the other side. And you want to go straight on with a slice of American cheese. Now this isn't necessary, this next step I'm about to show you, but it does help. I've got my cast iron Dutch oven lid that fits onto this, and you want to take just a little bit of water, put that in there, put the top on. So what that's going to do is while the other side of that burger's cooking, it's going to steam the cheese and it's going to melt it into the patty. I went ahead and got my buns and I put a little bit of special sauce on each side of it. And we just kind of want to spread that out. So that'll be ready to go when the patties come off. Check it out. Alright, so these are done. I'm going off of this straight onto the buns. Alright, so the last thing you do is you take a little bit of your shredded lettuce, you go on top of the burger. There you have it. There's your venison smash burger with special sauce. So, last little hot tip for you. If you want to get fancy and pair it with a beer, I would recommend a Pale Ale or an IPA. I have a Hogbill IPA from Barrel Beer Company out of Asheville, North Carolina, and it's pretty good, so cheers. Alright, so that's it for this recipe. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you give it a shot. I think you'll really like this one. As always, if you want to see more, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you for the next one.